Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. I highly recommend them as a charity. They have a great history of the vast bulk of the money going to actually filling food pantries, food banks, and not administration. So it's good stuff. And we have excellent troll slayers who keep us safe. We've got a fantastic community here because of you. You have been so kind to each other. You've been so kind to me. Thank you. And if you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed out there. I timestamp them as I go. Or you can watch back on like 1.25 speed or whatever works for you. So there is that. We've got all kinds of interesting things today. Oh, Ricky says, and the star of the show, soon to be the new host of the classic TV series, Unsolved Mysteries. Boo-Boo's and Kitty. Well, it's a mystery, all right. I don't know where he is. We had a bad storm roll through here this morning. The sky went so dark, and there was just flashes of lightning, and it was a thing. We're fine. The power went out for a minute, and it came back, and it was just a mess. And I have no idea where he is. I've looked for him. He has a couple of like hidey places, not just hiding places, but like hidey places. So hopefully he'll show up. So Electrostorm is asking me, once the U.S. gets back on their feet, would you stop doing the daily show? We didn't start the fire. Yeah. But speaking of, yes, Cherry Bomb, more, where in the world is Boo-Boo's and Kitty? Yes. He'll show up. He'll show up. Okay. We're going to start by setting your hair on fire, metaphorically. Okay? It's just letting you know. Then we're going to go on to all kinds of, we've got all kinds of stuff to cover today. But yeah, we're going to start. Take a nice soothing breath. Okay, 3 minutes in. Let me move that over a little, bring this up, and bring that down a little so I can put in that we are starting at 3 minutes, 15 seconds in. 3 minutes, 15 seconds in. Eileen actually brought this up. Florida's Department of Education approves ultra right-wing educational materials. Okay, so this is the first of an ongoing segment. Here, let me share. We have, this is part of our new ongoing segment. What the Florida? Yes, what the Florida? Florida's Department of Education approves ultra right-wing education materials from PragerU, the website for use in K through 12, pushing clean coal and how to be more feminine. Will the court challenge win? And you're thinking, oh no, I bet this is bad. And you would be right. Because I sat down and watched how to embrace your femininity today. Okay. First of all, look at me. All right. Not something I'm really worried about, but it's not one thing, and it's not for one gender, and it's not for... Anyway, thank you, Lynette. Oh, for the blank of blank. Yes. But instead of sharing the whole infuriating thing, I have the let's recap scene. Let me share. Yes, indeed. This is the How to Embrace Your Femininity from PragerU on YouTube. Let's recap. Don't get caught up in stereotypes. Embrace your gender. Be positive. Bring joy to those around you. Respect yourself and others. If you watch the whole video, the don't get caught up in stereotypes, embrace your gender is, if you want to wear high heels, wear high heels. If you want to wear a skirt or a dress, you wear a dress. And it showed a woman who's not trying to be feminine and a feminine woman saying, so the woman who's not being feminine is saying, oh, it's such a cliche. And the feminine woman says, well, don't you think all men are toxic? So why are you trying to be like them? And that was a real puzzler for the woman who wasn't trying to be feminine. Okay, be positive, bring joy to those around you. I kid you not. Smile more. Smile and see what the reaction is of those around you. You really should smile more. Thank you, Mrs. Couture. Thank you. Respect your... Kevin says, so glad you say that as I adjust my bra. Good. Respect yourself and others. Don't send out the wrong messages. That was, this is, I'm quoting. I mean, you would think, come on, it can't be that bad. But aren't all men toxic? Don't you think all men are toxic? Yeah. Hang on. Naturally different. The genders are naturally different, and men and women, they complement each other in a home and a community. Oh, pink, so cliche. But if you want to wear pink, wear pink. Be positive. And then we get a man. A woman's smile. The greatest thing, I'm not kidding you. Number 2. One of the most beautiful things God has created is a woman's smile. It can fill a room with energy and joy. Just try smiling and see how it affects the people around you. Okay, so anyway, there's a link in the chat box if anybody really wants to see more. But yeah, I'm so done. So once again, we're going to ask, what the Florida? Devil. Well, devil, obviously, if you're not being feminine, if you're not embracing, if you're not being the gender, fall into the little gender bucket that God created. God created gay penguins, too, and gay humans, and a spectrum of genders. So, Yeah, will apparently there's a court challenge. I hope so. Lisa's asking, will smiling help me pay the rent? Oh, honey, you don't have a man to do that for you? Oh, the patriarchy. Ain't it grand? Three of Swords. Five of... This is us. We're like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Ten of Cups. This is a happy family, but it is cups, and this is that kind of garbage. This is an excuse for discrimination. It is. This has discrimination all over it. Discrimination of people of differing. Remember the whole spectrum? Yeah. That whole spectrum, that whole, and if you don't fall into God's two little buckets, well, that's a choice you're making. Sit down, get stuffed. And no, you're in the wrong century. Not this century. And we embrace ew. Put this garbage in the schools. I love that star melody, Elizabeth B. Stuff and nonsense. And yes, there are definitely everybody in that little box. Everybody in that little box, which very much has racist overtones to it. But oh, that was one of the other things I say in the video. If you want to stay home and raise your children, you should stay home and raise your children. But if you need to work, you should work if it's best for your family. Yeah. This whole nuclear family thing, maybe after the war, there was some chance of that for some people, but nobody can afford that. Nobody. Most young people, and I mean young by like in their 20s, in their 30s, a lot of them can't even afford a home, period. Empress, Lovers, Seven of Cups. You're not going to convince them otherwise. And the fact is that a lot of the frustrating stuff that's going to come up, that comes up in my readings here, but is certainly in some of the questions today, what it comes down to is this is what we get if we don't get enough Democrats out voting. So you're not going to change. They are. The whole world makes perfect sense if I only see what's right here. And if I don't look at everything outside of that is wrong and bad, and it must not exist. All that can exist is what I can see within this narrow lane. That's all. And with using this, you can make every decision in the world you need to make. And I can use the excuse of the Bible, even though I'm not actually doing the things that Jesus talked about. Really? Clothe the unclothed, welcome the stranger. Did you? No, buy a gun and kill them. Yeah, we're done. We're done. And I know it's not all of Florida. My beloved aunt and uncle live in Florida. Our beloved Lori from The Way of Positive Change. If you need a personal reading, go to thewayofpositivechange.com. Lori is a fantastic personal reader. I know there are good people in Florida. But the good people of Florida, all of them, I know my aunt and uncle vote, I know Lori votes, but the good people of Florida need to vote. Really need to vote. Anyway, goodbye. All right, moving on. Okie dokie. Whew. All right. So, at 16:10, man, this is bad. I am sorry to have to share this with you if you have not heard this yet. Yesterday, a buoy in the Atlantic off the coast of Florida, but no, this isn't just Florida, registered a temperature of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, highest ever on record. Matter of fact, that's on the news app. That's the number one story. 101.1. This endangers critical sensitive ocean currents, and that's bad. Before that, reports came out that more than one coral reef in the lower part of the Florida Keys has experienced 100% mortality. Okay. There are a couple of things here. And I'm not even touching on the biodiversity thing, which is bless. Okay. There are two more immediate issues. We'll start with the longer term one that isn't very long term. There is fear that the prevailing ocean currents may collapse. That would be bad. Major ocean currents. Let's see if we can get some. Let me see if I can just very quickly find a something big. You'd think there'd be something. It just these images aren't big enough. But all right, we'll just go with this one. We'll try to make this big open image in a new tab, and I'll zoom in. And yeah, because there's a couple of things. Share screen. Ocean currents. Sorry, I didn't have something better prepared, but these are the major ocean currents. And I don't think you need me to point out the Gulf Stream ocean current, which is off the east coast of the US. So all of that warm water comes up the east coast, and then it goes over and kind of splits between kind of UK and Spain, let's say that. The UK, if you look at a globe, the UK is actually a lot further north. A lot farther north than you would think. One second. We're going to have a quick look. Share screen. Hello. Hello, Earth. How are you doing? You beautiful thing, you. All right. So this is us. And we're going to do a little moving of things here. Projects, map style, distances. Okay. This is the North Atlantic. This is the US over here. This is North America, South America, Africa, Europe. There's Spain sticking out. There's the UK's up here. All right. So there is this counterclockwise rotation going on around the North Atlantic. It's hard to see with this, but if you, for example, I use this as an example because a lot of people, they're like, oh, okay, the UK, we see all the things with the royal weddings or the whatever else is going on here in the US. But here's the thing, the UK is like actually up here. And on a globe, you can see that, hang on, it's actually really far north. I mean, it's really far north. No, I don't want to do distance. No, I don't want to do that either. Well, I'm not actually sure. I'm sure somebody else would know how to put in the latitude and longitude. But anyway, the point is you can tell that the UK is actually way up here. And so if this circulation with this constant warm water heading over to Europe, if that collapses, things can get pretty dicey in Europe. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. Electrostorm asks, I'm going to ask a really dumb question. I see the Earth rotating. Why don't we feel it? Because the Earth is massive, absolutely massive. And we're used to it, but it's massive. Yes, and there is gravity and centrifugal force, and we're used to that, but it's very big. It's very, very big. Anyway, so this breaking down, that would be bad, because there's also some cooler water up here, some cooler temperatures that head down this way from up here, and that collapses. You just get the heat sitting down here. That's not good. That's very bad. So anyway, so this talk went about the ocean currents system possibly collapsing. This is very bad. Because the last thing that the equator needs is more heat, not being cold. And the last thing that Europe needs is more cold. Or just sitting in their cold and around the equator, just sitting in the heat. That would be bad. That would be a lot of worry. That would be a lot of pain. And it hasn't even all hit us yet. And I'm not trying to, I hate to read on this sometimes because it seems so dire. We will find a way through it. But when I do read on 100 years in the future, the main thing is climate change. That's the main thing people are dealing with. What are Republicans dealing with? Physical reality. Climate change, climate changes. What are Democrats dealing with? People going through climate changes. So, oh, thank you, Core Smith. So this is bad. Yeah, I'd say it's going to be a little hot. This would be a very active current. Very, very active. Suspension. Seven of Pentacles. Hierophant. This is not good. This is what I was talking about with everything's kind of staying more in their own area, or the currents shifting to do slightly different things, but it would take a while for things to settle, and so you don't get the same. You get stuff building up in certain areas, like the heat in Florida. And it is up to the governments on the face of the earth to come together and do everything imaginable to help this. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. It's coming. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Forewarned. Valerie Sargent says, so our equator will expand. The equator won't. The heat will, more of the heat will sit. Having that nice, lovely, from hot water to cold water to back to warm to cold to warm. That's a lovely tempering effect. You don't want to mess with that. And we've messed with that. All right. On a shorter term at 20, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be depressing. I'm just trying to talk about what's going on. How much of an effect will this have on hurricane season? Because if you're looking at these kind of temperatures in the Gulf, in the Atlantic, that's what feeds hurricanes. We're supposed to be going through an El Nino, so it'll be better. It's not turning out to be better. Yeah, cherry bomb. Love climate change isn't on Hunter's laptop. It'll take Republicans a while to care about it. That's true. Hurricanes, 2023, 2024. Thank you, Faye. Yeah, not good. Bless. King of Pentacles. Star. Thief card. Things being taken. Four of Cups. 10 of Cups. All right. It isn't going to be the day after tomorrow. All right. There's good news there. All right. If you've seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow, this is not that. Matter of fact, some of that is not possible. Like those sudden down spouts from nearly outer space coming down and freezing a spot completely solidly. That's not, no, we're not, no. That's not what's going to happen. But it's not going to be good. This King of Pentacles, this actually feels like weather people who are trying to kind of walk us through. And actually, I don't know, just, it looks like an old-fashioned weather person with a kind of map over his shoulder or something. Things are going to shift more into, as heat increases in southern region, closer to the equator, things are going to be, the communities, countries are going to become more nocturnal. This is thief card. This is destruction. This is things being taken away from people. And we've had enough water. Had enough. Full up. No thank you. Enough, enough, enough. But we will survive it. We will survive it together. And we will vote for Democrats who understand and will do something about climate change. And we will help each other. So, Music Mansion says, so far Florida is being protected by colder winds. Not sure if that can last. Yeah. Glenbird says, right now, lines of storms keep shearing hurricanes away. When Bermuda High sets up, the door will open. But anyway. All right. So let's move on to this whole Hunter Biden thing. Apparently now he has this morning he went in. He was supposed to be pleading guilty with a plea deal. And then, oh, thank you, Marby. Thank you. Thank you. Then as the judge was doing due diligence, going through it, okay, is this what this means? Do you know, Mr. Biden, do you know what this is and what that means? It's sort of, okay, two things happened, both of which are you kidding me? The first one was, I'm sorry, Cherry Bomb. Sorry. The first one was apparently Republicans sent in some kind of amicus brief to the sentencing hearing, or not to the sentencing, to the hearing with Hunter Biden, saying there should be more charges. There should be more serious charges here. I'm sorry. Separation of powers, anybody? Who the blankety blank do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Then Hunter Biden and his lawyers were under the impression if he pleaded guilty and there was this deal, that would be the end of it. Well, it turns out, no. Prosecutors are like, well, no, we're not actually shutting the door on the possibility of bringing more charges later. What? It's a plea deal. What do you think a plea deal means? So that went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And so today, Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to charges because the whole idea of a plea deal fell apart. What's going to happen? Dr. Storm says, who are these prosecutors? I don't know off the top of my head. You could Google it. Oh, great. Google, we beseech thee for information. Lisa Graham says, check the prosecutor's bank accounts. Four of Cups. That's a, hang on. That's a refusal. That's a hold up. Four of Wands, Three of Swords, Magician. Yeah, and the longer this goes on, the longer it hangs over Biden run. Now, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I believe in the rule of law, and I am sick of any of these people skating. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. When just looking at the racial inequality in our justice system is enough to just make me a little bit crazy, make me very upset. So I don't want anybody getting a sweetheart deal, unless it's to, I don't know, fix some of the inequality in the system. But other than that, so if this guy goes to prison, good. I don't care. If it's within the law, that's all I want. But on the far right here, they want this. They're hoping this is going to be their talking point, get them through the next election, pull a rabbit out of a hat. That a chariot is a big show trial, big showy trial, and this is a thief card, which would be him convicted. But he was already willing to plead guilty to certain things. So are we really going to have the big show trial? It's going to be a really big show. Or are we going to... Or are they going to come up with an actual deal later on? Oh, and yes, the next question was about, will the GOP succeed in taking advantage of this? They're going to try, but we knew that. That's kind of is the day end and day. Is the day of the week ending in day. 8 of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Cups, political. They're not going to shut up about it. And I had said it's guaranteed with the indictments coming down on Trump and possibly other members of Congress for election interference, January 6th, all of that kind of stuff. The Republicans, they're going to find whatever shiny object, distraction. Look at the shiny distraction. Look. Shiny. Guaranteed. So, Catherine Rodriguez says, isn't this the judge purview to do what? Not to set up a plea deal. And yeah, I'm wondering about the prosecutors. The judge, at least so far, seemed pretty just by the book, kind of going through, because you do go through step by step. All right, Mr. Defendant, Ms. Defendant, are you aware of this? Do you realize this is what this means? Do you? And that sort of thing. And when the amicus brief from the Republicans came to the court, the judge said, okay, prosecutors, do you believe the charges should be worse? And the prosecutor said, no. Defendant, do you believe the charges should be worse? And of course, the defendant's lawyer said, no. And the judge said, okay. And that was that. But the world. 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Queen of Wands. Did this change? there was this deal announced. This Hunter Biden deal was announced. The MAGAs in Congress were screaming to the rafters that the prosecutor had been interfered with and was not allowed to bring stronger charges against Hunter Biden. And they said this and said this and said this and said this. Merrick Garland, within the last however many days, put out a letter saying, I release this prosecutor to come testify if you want, because the prosecutor's been saying, I wasn't stopped from anything. Matter of fact, I was put in place by Donald Trump, and unlike normal, where the new president would fire all these old prosecutors from the previous administration, because this prosecutor was already looking at Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, for the sake of it making it not look improper, said, you stay on. You follow things to the letter of the law. Now today they go into court, and suddenly this plea deal doesn't mean they won't bring charges later, more charges later. Do I smell a rat? Is that a kitty? Is that a Bailey Boo? Hello, Bailey Boo. Hello, precious. How are you, good boy? Did you have a good nap? Cherry bomb. Rat emoji, rat emoji, rat emoji. Lola Bess's transiting sun is square Hunter Saturn today. Yeah. Isabel Moss says, Boo Boo smells a rat too. Strength. Two of Cups. Page of Cups. Oh, please, Slate. What too many Democrats won't admit about Hunter Biden. If Hunter Biden has broken the law and they can prove it in court, he should go to prison. What else is there? Won't admit, please. Two of Cups, Page of Cups. Knight of Swords. So this is aggressive law enforcement, right-wing victory, but Nine of Cups is evidence laid out. He thought this was a done deal. He would plead guilty, he would do what needed to be done, it would be behind him. This aggressive law enforcement in the middle, and then a far right victory. I'm not saying it's necessarily a rat, but let's just say it smells a little bit like wet rodent. Yeah. Why am I trying to put that away? I think because I'm so disgusted by that. All right. You coming up here, sweetheart? You gonna come up? Come on. There's a kitty. There's a good Bailey Boo. How are you doing? Did you rest? Did the storm scare you? Did the storm scare that good kitty? Because you are the good kid. You are. Wheezy Squeeze Box, guilty of what? Well, he tried to buy, and that's the other thing. I'm sorry, Republicans, you want Hunter Biden, you want him to get in trouble for a gun purchase. Really? Really. Yeah, if he lied, then whatever the normal penalty for that is, that's what should happen to him. Okay. Hello, sweetie. Hello, good boy. Little fuzziness. Cute little fuzziness. All right. Moving on. Well, one bit of sanity-ish, at least. Rudy Giuliani concedes in a court filing that he made false statements about Georgia election workers Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss, and no longer contests the factual allegations in their defamation lawsuit. Will he face punishment? Because by doing that, he's also just helped Fani Willis. Hello, dear. Oh, he's a kitty. Kitty among the flowers. Yes, just a kitty among the flowers. Just a good boy. Just a good boy. Yes, you are. Little tired kitty. So, Rudy, you bag of scum, are you going to face consequences? Oh, he was out in front of this. He was Knight of Wands. He was the aggressive pusher of election lies. You good boy. Knight of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. He's run out of money. He can't continue to contest all this stuff. He can't afford it. You don't say. He can't afford to lie. He can't afford to continue to lie in court. So he's going to have to face consequences. Because the other side isn't giving up. And they're not in the middle of 11 billion legal things because they're law-abiding citizens. Oh, watching that jerk get his comeuppance. Ugh. I'm trying to see the chat. Yes, Julie, I'm the caramel sauce kitty. Yes, he is. Oh, just a little bath. All right. 7 at 48:45. Will this help Fani Willis? All right, I'll just have to go without the proper. Just write down. Just put in the numbers. Oh dear. Will this help Fani Willis? We hope so. We hope so. Exactly, Hillary SK. Crime does not pay. Shadow knows. Will this help Fani Willis? Four of Cups. She doesn't need the help. Oh, she's got this. Oh, she's got this. She doesn't need his help. No, no. She has got him dead to rights. Seven of Swords, which is a thief card. King of Wands, that's Trump the man. And Five of Pentacles out in the cold. This is my little matchbook card. Little match girl card. Rudy is in financial collapse. and you try to help steal an election, and she's got this down. She doesn't, yeah, great, you admitted it. Well, I guess that makes things a little easier, but it doesn't get you off anything, because she had to go through all of this to get whatever it was to stick, to get this far. So, yeah, she's not in a, she's not really in a generous mood when it comes to him. So, at 50:45, Velda Ray had a question. Okay. Is Trump refusing to participate in the debates due to fear? What is he afraid of? Well, he has his glass is one tiny little blown glass, misshapen sphere, and a hollow, delicate. He has said publicly that he doesn't, if he's doing so well in the polls, he doesn't see any reason why he or Joe Biden should have to go on to debate stages with the little people and take pot shots from them. He said that, and actually said Biden. He says, I wouldn't hold it against Biden if he did the same thing. Hi. You okay? So I'll have a look, but is he afraid? Oh yeah. 10 of Wands. You started this far-right cruelty, stupidity. They're just carrying on the burden of this cruel stupidity. Hanged Man, that's not going. Temperance, and Queen of Cups. That's interesting that we would even want to watch, because what I've been getting about the primary debate in August is the ratings won't be amazing. I mean, they'll be better than later debates, just because it's the first one. It's kind of novel. But I don't get that Trump's going to be there. And in fact, he's been talking about being on with Tucker that evening, wherever Tucker is. It's like, talk about the bog of eternal stench. Whew. Those two together. Man. So, all right, we have an interesting question here. Tarot Kitty and the Roses. Yes. At 53:20. Over the last few years, the general consensus and theories have been that Melania was simply biding her time during all of Trump's legal woes, that she privately couldn't stand him. That apparently may not be the case. Reports have come out she is furious at Trump's lawyers in the Carroll case for not making more objections. She believes her husband supports him in this and strongly believes Carroll is lying. Is she more of an enabler than we thought? My first reaction is she's trying to protect her son. And she can't stand him. The lawyer should have done more. So this isn't hanging over my son. The people he goes to school with can't say, your father was found, a jury said he's an sexual abuser. She wants the money. And then she wants to take her son and go overseas to Europe. Ta-da! And actually, that's kind of what Ivana did. Ivana lived in Monaco for a long time, didn't she? Only friend says she doesn't want to cut off the cash flow. Mm-hmm. Queen of Swords. Yeah, she's protect her son, protect her son, protect her son. Eight of Cups. World. the dynasty. Her son is carrying the Trump name, and they're going out into the world. And if this is done and dusted, then it's hanging over her precious. Does Melania Trump despise Donald Trump? Currently. Hi. You could come here. You could come up here. The Emperor. Three of Cups. Sun. She wants to empty the safe. That's what she wants. Empty the safe and go. That's what she wants. Let there be no doubt. She has a lot of earth signs in her chart. And when earth signs go bad, they're all materialistic. Horribly, horribly materialistic. I mean, she cares about her son. But mostly she wants to have a good time. Her son, take the money and get out. There were no love cards there. The Emperor. Yeah, that's not it. Emperor and the Thief card. Yeah, no. So, this is something positive to contemplate at 5730 or 5725. Bannon was going to go up on the state charges for basically stealing from people donating for a wall, and he just pocketed the money, and his co-conspirators or what have you. That's what they're accused of, and that's what they're guilty of, considering you have to admit guilt in order to get a pardon, which is what Bannon got. Anywho, well, now the state brought them up on charges, and Bannon's co-defendant, Timothy Shea, was sentenced to 5.5 years in the We Build the Wall fraud. Bannon's trial is coming up. So, how much, if any, jail time will Bannon receive? Will it be a lot? A little? Talk about the bog of eternal stench. War room, please. You look like you're in your mother's basement. Give me a break. I mean, I'm in my parents. My parents own this house, but I pay rent. Well, rent. It's not. I pay the equivalent. I give them the equivalent of rent to help pay for their medical bills. But that's different. I'm not in their basement putting out a live stream about how big and tough and strong I am, standing on my own 2 feet, big war room. Please, sit down. 8 of Swords, hemmed in. Legally, really, really hemmed in. What a shame. Fool. Chariot. 9 of Cups. King of Pentacles. Bless you. 10 of Wands. He's an idiot. He's a cruel, selfish, rotten human being. That would be a big trial. This would be all the evidence laid out. This would be Mr. King of Pentacles carrying the burden of, you said you were going to build a wall. Feeling a little burdened, Bannon? Thank you. Is it Kiba or Kaba? Kiba? Kathy DeLau says, right now all 3 of my adult kids live with me. I love it. There you go. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, hemmed in. Ding, 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 ding. We don't have someone going to prison. We have someone in prison. Bye. This was your plan, and to defraud the MAGA faithful. And hi, how are you? We're almost done here. It's okay. I know you're tired. Yes, the war room with is my pillow fort. Yes, he's a good boy. Relax, sweetheart. Okay. Okay, let me see. I don't know which of these to read on. Fox News said something absolutely heinous, and I don't know that it's even worth looking at, because are they going to get better? No. Not anytime soon. George Santos completely defrauded people who he said he was going to help. He was lying to them. Did he do it? Yeah. Entertainment only YouTube. Very, very likely. Is he going to be held accountable for it? Probably eventually. First, Tuberville, now Rand Paul, is stalling dozens of diplomatic appointments. Is it a coordinated effort to ensure Democrats do not get a win? Yeah. Some of these questions, it's like, they're heinous people. And trust is consistent behavior over time. They've had really consistent behavior. I mean, shockingly consistent behavior. All of it bad. How will it end? It will get better if Democrats retake power. Although, I will check on that one at, let's say, 103. Just say 103. Is it possible that perhaps some charges being brought? Some indictments might make any kind of change, a little bit of a shift in Congress. So, okay, Tuberville and then Rand Paul. Okay, will this stalling and stopping of progress and decency, will it end with people voting blue? Please vote blue. Please vote blue. Or vote for the candidate who is most likely to win, as long as it's blue. That's how we get there. That's how we defeat these people. Thief card. Yeah, they're stealing all kinds of good things away from people. There should be a safe full of promotions, the military, diplomatic appointments, and these people are like, no, we're just going to take those. We're just going to hold them ourselves. Chariot. Hierophant, Sun. I would have been happier to see a Justice card. This Hierophant, that's an institution. This is Congress. A Chariot, there are some big show trials coming. Sun, things coming to light, but vote blue. Cherry Bomb says no. RFK Jr. is technically blue. You guys know what I mean. Seriously, he's not. He's blue like Joe Manchin is blue. Vote for real Democrats. Vote for a real Democrat. How about that? Please vote for a real Democrat. Please. Please. And I think that's what's going to happen. But anyway, that's going to do it for us for today. Thank you so much. Hello, precious. All right. So it is 1:12 p.m. here in Chicago. The storms have passed through and moved on, and it's going to be a glorious day for summer. You know, I'm an autumn person. I'm a winter person, but we'll get through the summer. But anyway, it makes things grow, so that's good. At 3 o'clock or just after, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel. Sarah's going to be starting today at 3, and I will be there as soon after as I can. Other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. I'm here 365 days of the year. I'm serious. Every holiday, weekday, weekend, your birthday, my birthday, I'm here to answer your political questions to the best of my ability. I hope you have a wonderful day. You're not alone. We are in this together. And oh my gosh, there are good days ahead. All right, hang in there. And I will see you right back here tomorrow. Take care.